We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettit. I teamed up with Tunnel to Towers after seeing their life-changing work with military and first responder families. Now we're expanding our mission to help veterans struggling with homelessness. We want to help them rebuild their lives not only by giving them a home, but by providing the services they need. Please join me in donating at t2t.org.
My name is Wally Joyner. I was a first baseman for the Angels, Padres, Royals, and Braves. I give the Tunnel to Towers because of what they provide for the veterans, the military, the first responders, the police, the firemen who go out and put their lives in danger for our freedoms. I think it's an incredible charity, an incredible foundation. Their goals of helping the families that protect us. I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responder families with young children. Never forget.
Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Los Alamitos early and late pick fours with outstanding pools and big payouts. Here are some of our recent pools. The pool is over $214,000 on June 23rd and over $240,000 on May 26th. And the late pick four often has pools of over $150,000. And remember, a $10,000 pick six promo on Sundays. Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos, Saturday and Sunday nights.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty, good morning everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program as we start off another week of covering the great sport of kings, horse racing, Las Vegas style, right here from our studios at the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show as we start off another week, Travers Week from Las Vegas. It's going to be a fun week, man. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of great stakes races this weekend, and it all starts on Friday. We're going to go over the big list for you in just a moment, but we want to welcome you to the show on this Wednesday as we begin Travers Week here in Las Vegas at the South Point. And, of course, we all of our other platforms that we have. The peeps might be listening to us, like maybe our websites, racedaylasvegas.com.vegas.world.global, iPhone or Android with your apps. KSHP app gets you listening to us, and of course, the YouTube app gets you listening and watching us on the YouTube streaming network from the South Point Studios, South Point Hotel Casino Complex here on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital. And of course, our local radio station as well, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM as well, and of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. Simply put, however, wherever, whenever. Welcome to the Race Day Show for this Wednesday. We're going to look ahead to this weekend. There's a lot of great stakes races, but before we get to that, I just want to congratulate our handicappers. They had a big day on Sunday. On Sunday, Jonathan Hardoon came with a winner in the 8th race. That horse paid $14 in the shape of Barron's Bounce. Barron's Bounce wins that. Irad Ortiz Jr.'s 3rd win of the day, and that was only in the 8th race at Saratoga. And of course, the pick 6 was $67,298. Mike Maker had a winner. By the way, in the Mike Maker win, where Super Chief won, it paid $8.10. A horse got left in the starting gate and was just got left in the starting gate, so they made him a non-starter. That was Blue Plate Special. So in case you had him, you got your money back. Anyhow, we had 2 stakes races on Sunday at Saratoga. The early one was the Evan Shipman, won by Bank Frenzy. Flavian Proud Aboard for Rudy Rodriguez. That paid $10.80, outrunning Makers Candy and Sheriff Bianco. And then the other stakes race of the day, the Bolton Landing, which was transferred to the main track at 5.5 furlongs. The winner there was Kimchi Cat, Tyler Gaffleone for Tom Amos, paying $8 even. And all in all, on Sunday, they came off, all the races were off the turf on Sunday. And today at Saratoga, we have already gotten the word that they're going to take races 1, 6, 8, and 9, 1, 6, 8, and 9 off the turf today. The only turf race left on the grass today is the featured John's Call, and that'll stay on the grass. But the other turf races scheduled for today will come off the grass. And so with the John's Call, we're looking at that'll be the, I believe it's the 3rd race on the card, 1 mile and 5/8 on the turf. That'll stay there. 1st race off the turf, the 6th race off the turf, and then, of course, the 8th and 9th races off the turf today at Saratoga, because they want to save that grass course for the big races that are coming up this weekend. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. Continuing with our handicappers from Sunday, that was at Saratoga, but on Sunday at Del Mar, Jonathan Hardoon and Jerry Jackwitz both came up with a winner in the 3rd race, Giovanazzo. That horse paid $7 even. And Jerry Jackwitz link-ups ran 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So you had the exacta paying $21.90. The 50-cent try paid $56.40. And even the 10-cent super, if you went with the link-ups with that one, paid $28.03 there. So the guys came through in the 3rd race on Sunday as well. And then in the last race, John Lendo gave us the winner of the 9th and final race, the Solano Beach Stakes, where Moment's Pleasure wins for Hector Barrios and Craig Lewis, paying $10.80, outrunning Rose Maddox and Court Snort, who finished 3rd. John Lendo's Lendo Report, his suggested late pick 4 hit at Del Mar on Sunday. The suggested late pick 4 on his sheet paid $470.75. So it was a big day for our handicappers on Sunday. But that was Sunday. We got to get these guys all revved up and getting ready to go for this week, that's for sure. Coming up, here's what we got. I want to remind you all right now, pay attention to this. We are going to have a special Travers Race Day Las Vegas extra show. That'll come up on Friday, this coming Friday, after our regular Race Day show between 7 and 8 o'clock. We'll come back right after that show at about 8:02, I guess. We've got a couple of commercials in there. And for between 15 and 20 more minutes, we're going to do the Race Day Extra Show, the Travers Extra Show. And we're going to be covering the Travers Stakes with sports director here at the South Point, Chris Andrews, and some more handicappers as well. So that's going to be on Friday. It's going to be here only here on the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. After the main show, where we simulcast over KSHP and the websites and 107.1 and all the other platforms that we have, the only other one that will have the Race Day Extra, the Travers Extra show, will be here, the South Point Studios streaming at YouTube. So keep that in mind. And of course, when you get there, if you haven't subscribed, do it so you can chat away as our chatters are doing right now today, okay? So that's first and foremost. That'll be on Friday morning after the Friday regular show, and of course, Saturday is the Travers. Now, here are the races that are happening this weekend. Coming up on Friday, Charlestown will have 6 stakes races totaling $2.9 million in purses. And at Charlestown, the couple of big races there, the Oaks will feature Impel, Rosewell, and My Main Squeeze, 10 fillies going in the Oaks, headed up by Impel, Rosewell, and My Main Squeeze. Then comes the $1 million Charlestown Classic, where 10 will go in that race. Skippy Longstockings, the big favorite in that race, will take on 9 competitors in the Charlestown Classic, the $1 million race. And, of course, they'll have 4 other stakes races on the card. That's Friday at Charlestown. Saratoga on Friday, the eve, of course, of the big Travers Day stakes races. They're going to have 2 stakes races at Saratoga on Friday, headed up by the Grade 1 Personal Ensign, where we'll get the throwdown again between Idiomatic and Randomized. Idiomatic and Randomized take on each other again in a short 5 filly mare field in the Personal Ensign. Also on Friday, Woodbine, north of the border. Remember, they canceled last Saturday the King's Plate Day of stakes races because of the terrible weather they had there. Well, they didn't want to go right up against the Travers Day on Saturday, so they're going to reschedule those races, and they'll run them on Friday. So in addition to the great stakes races at Saratoga and Charlestown later on in the day, Woodbine will have 5 of those stakes races that were rescheduled. They're going to come up on Friday, and of course, headed up by the King's Plate. The King's Plate, of course, Mark Casse, trainer Mark Casse, has 3 in the field of 13 in that race, and he has the first 2 favorites in that race. So you got the 5 stakes races at Woodbine headed up by the King's Plate. That's all on Friday. Now we get to Saturday. Saturday, early post time of 8:40 a.m. Pacific time at Saratoga. A big, I believe it's a 13-race card there on 15 races. Thank you, Mr. Hardoon's give me the high sign. 15 races. 14. Well, make up your mind. Pull up your fingers or whatever. Okay, 14? Thank you. 14 races. It doesn't matter because there's 5 big of the stakes races, of course, that we're looking at. They're all grade 1s. They will be the Ballerina. There's 8 in that race, headed up by Vava. Vava is the big favorite in the Ballerina. Then we'll have the 4 Go. 8 go in that race. Mulligan is the big favorite in that one. H. Allen Jerkins Memorial. These are all grade 1s on Saturday at Saratoga. Will feature Bookham Dano and Bob Baffert sending out Prince of Monaco. So you have 11 in that race, the H. Allen Jerkins, and Bookham Dano, of course, will be headed up with Prince of Monaco in that one. Then we'll have the Sword Dancer. Silver Knot and Measured Time square off again in a 6-horse field in the Sword Dancer. And finally, the Travers Stakes, the Grade 1 Travers Stakes for $1,250,000, where the filly Torpedo Anna will take on the best of the boys in the 3-year-old division that include Dornoch, Sierra Leone, and Fierceness in an 8-horse field in the Travers. In addition to that, on Saturday, Parks Racing will have 6 stakes races there, headed up by the Smarty Jones, where 6 will go in that, with Gold's Gold and Catalytic heading up that. And finally, down at the beach on the West Coast in Southern California at Del Mar, they're going to have the Grade 1 Pat O'Brien, a Breeders' Cup Win in Your In race, where a legend in his own time, the chosen Vron, will head up a field in that one. Now, I can tell you this, Arabian Night, Bob Baffert was scheduling Arabian Night to go in the Pat O'Brien, but news has come out that the ownership of Arabian Night decided to retire this horse immediately. So Arabian Night has been retired. It kind of shocked Bob Baffert, too. But Arabian Night has been retired and will go to stud. He will not be in that race. But the chosen Vron will in the Pat O'Brien. Is that not a lineup for us on Friday and Saturday? And we're going to try to cover it all for you right here on the Race Day Show. Coming up today, Jonathan Hardoon, who's giving me all these hand signals off camera, he'll be with us to take a look at some of those races. We'll start out by kind of piddling around with the races. Rich Ing will be with us. Jerry Jacobs will, of course, be with his Saratoga pick. And John Lindo will be with us as well to take a look at not only John Lindo's going to be doing a Lindo report for Saturday at Saratoga for whether it's 13, 14, 50, how many races they got. He's going to do a full sheet there for Saratoga as well. And we'll ask him about that surprise about Arabian Night being suddenly retired. Just retired him. Okay? A couple of quick notes. Biggest buyer speed figure of the last weekend was in the Island Stakes, where Subsanador won that. Of course, Dick Mandela and Mike Smith. And the weather. Now we get to the weather at Saratoga. All right? And I'm punching up the 10-day weather forecast. Now, today they're off the turf, but I understand the weather is okay. The weather is fine at Saratoga today, but because they had a lot of that rain over the weekend, they're going to try to keep it try to get it as fast as possible by the weekend. So today they're coming off the turf. Tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to have a 16% chance of rain at Saratoga. Then we get to Friday, the first of the 2 big days of racing at Saratoga. On Friday, the weatherman says it's going to be mostly sunny, 78 degrees at Saratoga. And on Travers Day, Saturday, partly cloudy, but nothing to worry about as far as precipitation. Going to be 81 degrees out at Saratoga. Now, I hope the weatherman is as good a handicapper as our handicappers were on Sunday as far as handicapping the weather. That's for sure. All right. Just wanted to set it all up for you. We got a lot to cover on this show today, and we will be right back after our first break, give you your racing menu, and then off with the handicappers. Don't go away.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yes. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Rio.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go, ah! Ah!
Oh! Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
Back on Race Day Las Vegas as we kick off Travers Week today. We do have racing at Saratoga. We'll get to our handicappers in just a moment. I want to look at the temperatures, though. Right now here in Las Vegas, it's really nice. We're going to get up to, I think, about 102, something like that today. It's not going to be rather hot, that's for sure. As a matter of, well, no, I guess it's going to get up a little over 107, 108 degrees, it tells me now. So that's where we're at. In fact, we're a little bit warmer than Phoenix, Arizona is going to be. Phoenix is going to be at 105 today. Miami, 90. New York, 75. Beautiful day out at New York City today. Chicago, 76, where, of course, they're having the Democratic convention. And again, here in Las Vegas, we're going to get up to 107 degrees. But it's always fast, firm, and perfect in our race books. Okay, let's just get started with the racing menu of racetracks available today in the Racebook simulcast centers, racetracks around the country. I want to remind you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're listening here in Las Vegas, or you come on out to the South Point Racebook and enjoy the races today, these will be the first post times that roll out in our racebooks. If you're listening anywhere else and you're in another time zone, adjust to the Pacific time zone. First post times are Pacific. Okay, we begin our racing menu today with Balterra Park. Balterra Park has a first post time of 9:35 at Balterra today. Following that, we go to Delaware Park. Delaware Park's first post time is at Delaware Park's first post time is at 9:30 Delaware Park. Following that is Parks Racing. Parks Racing starts at 9:40 at Parks Racing. I'm sure they got a carryover or two in their pick 5. But my computer froze up, so we'll just have to wait for that. 9:40 first post time at Parks Racing. Following that comes Finger Lakes. Finger Lakes will get underway at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. first post at Finger Lakes. Then we have Saratoga. Saratoga kicks in at 10:10 this morning. 10:10 this morning at Saratoga for their 9-race card. And, of course, the John's Call, again, comes up early. It's the third race on the card. That's the only race today that stays on the turf, the John's Call. Mile and 5/8 on the Mellon Turf Course for 4-year-olds and up. There's a field of 9 entered, but the main trackers will be scratched. Foreign Relations at 5 to 2 in the morning. This is a very competitive race. I can tell you, Captain Peak is 2-1. You got a couple of 3-1s there. John's Call is going to be a good marathon at a mile and 5/8 on the turf. Third race on the card. 9 races overall at Saratoga, and Saratoga's first post time is at 10:10. 10:10 at Saratoga. Horseshoe Indianapolis is next. They got underway at 11:10. 11:10 Horseshoe Indianapolis, followed by Presque Isle Downs. Presque Isle Downs gets going at 12 high noon Pacific time, and then we'll go to Louisiana Downs. 2:05 first post at Louisiana Downs. Finally, Penn National will finish it up. Penn National's first post time is at 2:45, and that is your racing menu for today, Wednesday. Now I'll bring in Jonathan Hardoon, who is standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
You are on a roll now, buddy. You got a winner. You gave us a winner at Del Mar, $7. You gave us a winner at Saratoga, $14. 2 for 2 on Sunday, and all I can say is, as the chatters would say, it's about time.
The whole week was good. Give me a break. 2 weeks.
It was
no good. I admit it, but last week was very good. So.
Yeah, you got it was good. Certainly last week, that's for sure. And we got to keep the mojo going though, because it's a really neat.
Absolutely.
It's a great week this week out at Saratoga. And it looks like the weather's going to be okay. It looks like the weather's going to be all right, unless there's one of those flash storms that come in. Weatherman says it's going to be good for racing.
Today is absolutely beautiful, Ralph. It's in the 60s. It's actually a cool day and no humidity at all. And they're expecting basically this weather all through the weekend. So that would be great. You know, here you're never safe, but really there's no rain in sight. So hopefully they'll make it through. And Saturday's card is really quite the card.
Well, all I can say is, yes, it is Saturday, but Friday's card's going to be good, too, because it's going to be really interesting to see those two mares go at it in the personal ensign, the idiomatic and randomized. A small field, so it's going to be a chess game there.
Yeah, you didn't even mention tomorrow they have the Boston Spa. It's the second race. They have 5 horses entered on the grass. 4 of them are Chad Brown horses. So there you go. 4 out of the 5.
So it's the Chad Brown Boston Stakes.
Boston Spa, exactly.
Boston Spa Stakes. Okay. You know, this will be really something. Now, a bookmaker should put this up. Give the odds that the one horse that's not Chad Brown trainee to beat Chad Brown's horses.
You're taking the field against Chad Brown.
Yeah.
It's one horse, though.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting week, all week at Saratoga. This is the pivotal week, the big week for Saratoga, that's for sure. I'm glad to see that hopefully, if the weatherman is right, the weather's going to be nice because we got some great races coming up. But talking about the main event, the marquee race, the Pinnacle, of course, that's the Travers on Saturday. By the way, all 5 of those stakes races I talk about are grade 1s. But the Travers will get Torpedo Anna against Dornoch, Sierra Leone, and Fierceness, among other 3-year-olds in that race. And I think Batten Down is something like 20 to 1 on the morning line, and he has a legit chance in that race. So
He's an improving horse. He's
yeah.
getting better with Ralph. That's crazy. 20-1 they made that horse. Wow.
I think they made him 20-1. I'm not sure, but we'll check. In any case, it'll be a good price. But here's the deal. Now, Thorpina Anna, I don't think a filly has won the Travers in, like they said, over 100 years, 109
Yeah,
years.
100 years or something, something like that.
But this is going to determine, I think, the 3-year-old of the year right now, unless other 3-year-old goes on and beats the older horses in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I mean, this is really for, I think, an Eclipse Award. However, if she wins this race, oh my, she puts herself in the spot of not only being 3-year-old of the year, 3-year-old filly of the year, but she could be horse of the year if she pulls off another big upset, maybe in the Breeders' Cup. You never know.
Yeah, but that's a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it could happen, but first she has to get past Saturday, which is no easy feat, by the way. That race is really a good race, and Sierra Leone's been a disappointment so far in his last couple of races, but it may be his turn to win because they all seem to take chances. And as we've known, since we followed Fierceness throughout his career, he has never put 2 races together. Let's see if he could pull it off this week.
Yeah, Batten Down is 20-1 on the morning line. I just punched it up. Fierceness is 3-1. He breaks from the 8 post. In case you guys want to take a look at this in post position order, number 1 is Torpedo Anna. She'll break from the rail. This is 1.25 miles, remember, on the main track, so there's a long run to the first turn, but she's going to be down on the inside, so they'll have to make a decision after the break what they want to do, whether they want to stay close up or try to get themselves off the rail and in the stalking position. That's the one, Torpedo Anna. Kenny McPeak, of course, and Brian Hernandez Jr. will again be the rider. 2 is Sierra Leone. Flavian Pratt rides for Chad Brown. The 3 is Unmatched Wisdom. Irad Ortiz Jr. for Chad Brown as well. This horse...
Ralph, Chad Brown is entering that horse to be a rabbit, I think, to help Sierra Leone. That's what I think. He's going to guarantee there'll be pace, and I think that's the reason he entered that horse.
Let me ask you this. Why 8-1 on the morning line? I mean, that's kind of low considering all these other horses. This horse must have some talent to him.
Yeah, well, he hasn't really run a bad one yet, but I think his mission in the race is, listen, he's got 5 careers. He's got 3 starts. He's 3 for 3, so he's never done anything wrong, and he won the Curlin Stakes last time out at a short price of 40 cents to the dollar. But I think he's there to make sure his pace is honest.
All right, number 4 is Corporate Power. Javier Castellano for Shug McGahee, who's having a heck of a year, really. The 5 is Batten Down. Junior Alvarado, Bill Mott, you know how dangerous this team is. 20-1 on the morning line. Number 6 is Honor Marie, a horse who has showed a lot of promise but just never delivered, at least up till now. Honor Marie, Tyler Gaffleone for Withbrook Beckman. The 7 is Dornock. This is the one that's the most consistent out of the year so far. Dornock, Luis Hayez riding for Danny Gargan again. Morning line favorite at 5-2. And, of course, on the outside is number 8, Fierceness. Of course, Todd Pletcher training, John Velasquez, the rider, and for the Rapoli stable at 3-1. So it's going to be interesting what Fierceness does from the outside. Again, a long run to the first turn, but you don't want to use up that entire stretch and still be wide going into the first turn.
Exactly. So it's somewhat of a rider's race as well. It's 1.25 miles. I like the rider change on Anna Marie. I think Tyler Gaffleone is going to wake this horse up. Take nothing away from Ben Curtis or Florent Giroux, who's ridden him in the past. But this horse had promise. We liked him in the Derby. He had all kinds of trouble in that race. And then he ran 4th in the Belmont Stakes to Dornock. So let's see what's going to happen. He's an improving horse. It's a great race, Ralph. You can make a case for a couple of horses, and it's going to be a good betting race.
I'll tell you what's going to be a good betting race is the H. Allen Jerkins. It's also on the card. This is at 7 furlongs on the main track. And, of course, you got Bookham Dano, who's in that race. And Bookham Dano, should be the favorite. That's for sure. And he's 7-2 on the morning line. Gives you an idea of how wide open this race is. But Bob Baffert sends out Prince of Monaco, who's 4-1. John Velasquez will ride. And then you've got Domestic Product in the race, Flavian Pratt for Chad Brown. You got some. I mean, this is going to be. If you hit this race, you're gonna be paid off.
Well, Bookham Dano beat Prince of Monaco last time out at Saratoga, if you remember, in the Woody Stevens. And Prince of Monaco actually ran well that day. But Bookham Dano, Ralph, what a neat horse. 8 lifetime starts, 6 wins, 2 seconds. And he's just always tries every time. And he was terrific last time out.
Yeah, it's going to be just a fun day. It's almost like a mini Breeders' Cup type of day of racing, the way they got it set up. But finally, as long as the weather, cooperates, it should be a heck of a day of racing. Now, the first post time is going to be at 8:40 in the morning, and there are 14 races on the card.
14, you got 14.
It right. Okay. 14 races.
You had a multiple choice. You had 12, 13, 14. You finally got it right.
Yeah,
14.
Right. Well, sooner or later I'll get it right if I keep counting. That's for sure. Of course, you were putting up fingers. I didn't know. Keep
1 and 4 means 14.
1 and 4 means 14.
Well, it should.
Yeah, right. Now, see, you try to figure it out. In any case, we got it right. There's going to be 14 races, and you're going to have a full sheet. Of course, all our handicappers are, and so is John Lendo. And it'll be fun to get Chris Andrews here on Friday for the Travers Race Day Las Vegas Travers Extra show right after the regular show, because Chris Andrews, who is the sports director here at the South Point, we're coming up on a big weekend because, college football, the real college football season starts on Saturday. This is going to be a lot of fun, and they got some great races, great races and great games to be played. So there's going to be a lot of activity here. But he's going to join us on Friday because he'll be busy taking bets on the college football on Saturday. But he's a big racing fan, and I'm sure he's got a thought or two about the Travers.
Yeah, he does a terrific job. When we do the Breeders' Cup seminar and the Derby seminar, he's always there, and he does a great job, and people seem to really like him.
You know what I like about Friday is the fact that Charlestown did schedule all of the big 6 races on that day. It's $1 million race, the Charlestown Classic. You don't want to kind of overlook that. And then, of course, you got the 2 big races at Saratoga. And then, of course, Woodbine deciding not to go up against the Travers Day card, which was, I thought, a very smart thing to do, that they made Friday almost a Saturday kind of race day for simulcast players anyhow, with their 5 stakes races that include the King's Plate. So it's going to be a lot of fun the Friday and Saturday coming up.
It's really interesting because a lot of jockeys will be leaving early Friday from Saratoga to ride at Charlestown, and then they have to make sure they're able to get back for Saturday. It's a night in Charlestown and then flying back to Saratoga. So there'll be some top riders that will be at Charlestown Friday, and hopefully they get back in time for Saturday.
Now, Kazuchi Kimura, who usually rides in Canada, but has decided the last couple of summers to go down to Southern California, he's riding in Southern California at Del Mar, and he's getting some mounts for Bob Baffert, as you know. He wants to get in that barn. And so when they canceled on Saturday, he was up there because he was going to ride there, gets back on a plane and comes down in time to ride Baffert, 2-year-old, the first-time starter, in the 4th race at Del Mar on Sunday, and won that race. For Baffert. Baffert actually ran 1st and 3rd in the race, but he was the longer price of the 2 Baffert horses, paying $14.40 in a maiden race for 2-year-olds at Del Mar. So I'm pretty sure that Kimura was glad that he can get back to get on that mount for Bob Baffert and keep good in that barn.
Yeah, what a tough 24 hours he had, Ralph. He went all the way to Canada to watch them, cancel the remainder of the card. Then he missed his flight back to Southern California, I heard, but he got back in time. So it was a crazy 24 hours for him as well.
Well, it's been a crazy day of winners on Sunday for us, and let's keep the mojo going today. Where are we going? What race, I should say, are we going at Saratoga today?
We have one race at Saratoga, Ralph, and it's the 5th. It's the 5th race, which I'm going to look at. You have some late scratches in there. The 1, Manny Penny, is out. The 7, Bonchance, is out. The 11, 12, and 13 are also scratched, but still leaves a field of 9 horses. And I love the number 9 horse in here, Very Funny. It's a 4-year-old gelding for the Mike Maker barn. His last 3 races were on the turf, so let's disregard those races. His previous races on the dirt, all good enough to get the job done here. Tyler Gaffalione aboard to ride, 8-1 on the morning line. Number 9, Very Funny, wins today's 5th race out at Saratoga.
All right, Saratoga, the 5th race today with those scratches as well. But in the 5th race, you like the 9, Very Funny. 8-1 on the morning line with Tyler Gaffalione. The 9 horse in the 5th race is your selection at Saratoga today. And Tyler Gaffalione, believe it or not, is having a solid Saratoga meet. He is now in 2nd place in the jockey standings. He's 5 behind Irad Ortiz Jr. Ortiz leads him at 36. Gaffalione is now sitting at 31. And Flavian Pratt is hanging tough in there at 30 as far as the jockey standings. So these guys are on their belly riding hard at Saratoga, and you got Gaffalione in the 5th race on the 9, Very Funny.
By the way, Ralph, Flavian Pratt, I believe, has 10 or 11 stakes wins at this meet out of the winners he had. So he's having a very productive, certainly financially wise, meet. He's winning the stake races where the big money is.
Yeah, well, he's in tight in the Chad Brown barn. He's had several of those stakes races that you're talking about at Saratoga. Could break the record as far as the amount of stakes races won in one season at Saratoga. But he's getting on the Chad Brown horses, and he's producing for Chad Brown as well. All right, you got a
That's
full.
How you get to ride back. That's how you get to ride back.
Yeah, no question about it. Okay, now you got a full sheet today at Saratoga, and of course you'll be working on the big racing card coming up Saturday at Saratoga as well. And where can they get your sheet today?
Website, JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph.
All right. We're just starting here this week. That's for sure, Jonathan. Thanks a lot, my man. Okay, we're going to be right back after this break. Rich Eng is next.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going, every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at t2t.org.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, it's going to be a really neat week of racing with all those big stakes races. A big stakes racing day on Friday and Saturday with the Travers. But even there's a couple of stakes races starting out this week. One at Saratoga and the Johns Call. And, of course, at Delaware Park, we got the Cape Henlopen Stakes as well.
Yeah, that's actually where my pick's going to be. And as far as the tease for Friday at Charlestown, Ralph, I love a horse in the Charlestown Classic, and it is not the favorite.
All right, you got it. Great. You know the TV biz. That's a great tease. And, of course, we'll be waiting for your selection at Charlestown on Friday. And, of course, the Travers and all the great races on Saturday at Saratoga. I'll bet you'll be busy taking a look at all those races as well.
Oh, absolutely. God, I hope it's fast and firm on Saturday because, this off-the-turf stuff is getting pretty old, Ralph, and people want to have great racing on the turf and great racing on the main track. So let's pray for the weather on Saturday.
Now, the real football, college football season starts on Saturday, and I know there's the list of games. There's going to be some really good games starting off the college football season on Saturday. I know you'll be taking a look at those as well.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the college and pro football. I've made a number of advanced wagers on win totals for the season. Maybe on tomorrow's show, I'll let people know who I have bet in the colleges for win totals over and under. And just a hint for the bettors for the National Football League, keep in mind that most of the starters are not going to play this weekend.
Nope.
So when you go into week one, that is a weekend where there's going to be a lot of upsets. If you remember last year, week one, there was something like 6 or 7 underdogs won outright on the field. Really, really strange results week one usually.
Well, Richie, you and I both know that they devised preseason so the teams can get in rhythm and all that and sharpen up their skills and work on some plays, et cetera, before the real season starts. But now with all the starters making millions of dollars, they get very cautious in not wanting a guy to get hurt in preseason, so they wait until the regular season. And so the first game in regular season is like preseason to the starters, and you're going to get guys who are going to miss passes and stuff like that because their preseason really is when the season starts for most of the starters, right?
That's exactly right. Plus, another thing to keep in mind, Ralph, is they've had limited playing time. So when they go into Sunday's game, they're being asked to play 55, 60, 65 plays. They're not in condition. A lot of players, a lot of teams get tired in the fourth quarter in the heat.
Yeah. Well, we will certainly take a look at all those angles coming up for sure as we get closer to opening day in the NFL. But right now, we're looking at getting ready for some great horse racing, of course, this week with the Travers. And then we got the Pacific Classic coming up at Del Mar. It's going to be a heck of a nice couple of weeks for horse racing for the summertime, that's for sure. And you say you have a pick, and it's going to come at Delaware Park today.
Race 7 at Delaware is at Cape Henlopen, $200,000, Ralph. Field of 6, 3 of them coming in from New York, who were the top finishers in the Belmont Gold Cup. The big favorites are going to be the 2 Limited Liability and the number 3, the Gray Wizard. But I'm going to pick a horse who finished behind them in the Belmont Gold Cup. That's number 4, Really Good. 6-1 in the morning line. Mike Maker, the trainer. One of the angles in play, Ralph, is this horse went to ship to Delaware Park last summer and won the Kent on the turf with the same jockey, Ruben Silvera. Mike Maker is always dangerous. I love the price, 6-1. Let's go with the 4, Really Good, race 7.
All right, 4th race, I should say 7th race at Delaware Park. Number 4, Really Good. And we want them to be just that for us today. 7th race, the 4 horse at Delaware Park, Really Good. The 4 in the 7th at Delaware is Richie's pick for today. Anything special for your selections this weekend?
No, I'm not doing a full card for Brisnet, but I could have some individual picks because I'm already looking at some of the races.
Good, thank you, and we'll keep that in mind. Of course, your Del Mar selections will be there as well. So we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All righty. Don't forget, Richie's got some plays on the RacedayLasVegas.com website for today. We go to our final break. When we get back, John Lindo and Jerry Jackowitz as we keep moving on Travers Week from Las Vegas.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
The traditional $2 Pick Six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a Pick Six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool. Every Sunday night, we'll have either a Pick Six carryover or the 10,000 Pick Six promo, leading to gigantic total pools, like the $286,000 pool on May 19th and over $269,000 on June 8th. The traditional $2 Pick Six, a great bet, a great deal, always at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, our chatters are chatting away on the website today, and we'll try to see if we can squeeze a couple of them in, but show's moving fast. Now we're going to go out to John Lindo standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. We'll get into what's going on at Del Mar this weekend and certainly Saratoga, but the sudden news of Arabian Night being scratched sure caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, it caught us by surprise. Arabian Night worked 5 furlongs in a minute and 2/5 from the gate on Saturday. Was announced. I guess Bob Baffert talked to Brad Free. Brad announced that he was going in the Pat O'Brien this coming Saturday as opposed to the Pacific Classic. Then Monday afternoon it was announced he was retired, and yesterday they put him on a plane and he went to Hillendale Farm in Kentucky. So that's it for Arabian Night. 6 starts in his career. He was a brilliant horse. He just never got to the races a whole lot.
Well, John, obviously it didn't look as if it was like a decision that was made with the entire group. I don't think Bob Baffert had much of input in there because the owners just said, retire him.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, Ralph. I saw a quote that Bob said he's going to need some time, and at this time of the year, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And I think, they got together. And so obviously he must not have come out of that workout on Saturday in perfect condition. And his race coming back in the San Diego earlier in the meet, it wasn't his best effort. So, whatever was bugging him probably got the better of him, and that was enough. And he'll go to stud now. He's the son of Uncle Mo, and he cost over $2 million at the sales. So obviously he looks the part.
Well, he'll get it back in the breeding shed. That's for sure. Hey, big day at Del Mar on Sunday. Mark Glatt had 3 wins, and Doug O'Neill had a couple of wins. And O'Neill, ironically, had both his wins in races for 2-year-old maidens back-to-back with Antonio Fresu aboard. As a matter of fact, Fresu won 3 races in a row at Del Mar. So between Glatt and O'Neill and Fresu, they were having a pretty much of a party on Sunday at Del Mar.
Yeah, and Antonio Fresu got off to a slow start. I think he was 1 for his first 27, and he's in the top 3 in the jockey standings now. So he's really picked it up, and whatever it was that got him to the slow start, he's rectified all that.
Well, all I can tell you, John, is that we keep telling everybody that your Lindo Report is available right here at the South Point, free of charge, exclusively. You have selections in every race. You have all that goody information that we talk about at the bottom of the sheet, and you always suggest a late pick 4. And your suggested late pick 4 on your sheet that was here free of charge, exclusively distributed here at the South Point Racebook. Your suggested late pick 4 won on the sheet on Sunday and paid $470.75. What was the layout?
After scratches, it was a $22.50 ticket, so we got 20-1 there.
All right, that's a good shot there. Now, what's your schedule for the Lindo Report this week?
Del Mar Thursday through Sunday, and I'm doing that 14-race card at Saratoga, working on it right now for Saturday, and glad to hear that John Hardoon says it doesn't look like there's any rain. So I was surprised they took so many off the grass today, Ralph. It hasn't rained for a couple days up there, so you just never know at Saratoga.
Well, I think they want to keep that turf course pristine for a lot of the turf racing and a lot of stakes races coming up all out throughout the week at Saratoga. That's for sure. And, of course, we got Del Mar with the Pat O'Brien, a win and you're in on the weekend as well. It's going to be a fun week. That's certain. And, of course, we will talk to you tomorrow when we get started with Del Mar as well.
Right. 2 o'clock for first post time tomorrow, 3 o'clock on Friday, and then the rest of the 2 o'clock post on Saturday, Sunday.
You got it, John. Thanks so much, my man, for checking in, and we will talk to you tomorrow and find out what they're doing with that racetrack on the days off now.
And real quick, City of Troy just won the Juddmonte International at York. That's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Turf. And there's also scuttlebutt that he may go in the Breeders' Cup Classic, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, that's good. And by the way, locally, as far as you're giving us a result, locally, our Palos Verdes Little League team won their second round against Hawaii in a 3-2 battle there. And their next round is today, today later on against Burndy, Texas. So let our Little League team keep rocking and rolling here from Henderson, Nevada.
Love it, Ralph. Good luck to those guys.
All right, you got it, my man. Thanks a lot. All right, now we're going to go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by, who isn't in Henderson, but he's in another part of town that's pretty close, and I'm sure he's rooting for them as well. Jerry, good morning.
Absolutely. You know, the kids around here, they know how to play baseball.
Yeah, they do. Well, it's because I guess we have. I guess because
this isn't the first good team that we've had.
Yeah, I guess because of the good weather we have here all the time.
Maybe.
Yeah. In any case, a nice score at Del Mar on Sunday. You and of course Jonathan Doon both like the winner in that race, Giovinazzo. But then your link-ups are in second, third, and fourth. So people do your link-ups with exactas, tries, or supers. You swept the card there in the third race at Del Mar on Sunday.
Very nice. I'm glad everybody I hope everybody got a winner that was there for them. So.
Okay, you're not doing anything special for Saratoga except doing the 14 races that you got to do on Saturday, I guess.
I think that's special enough.
Yeah, I think it is. Sure.
I'm not even sure how I'm going to put 14 races on the
on your sheet.
You know, I only have room for 12.
Jerry, let me ask you this: Torpedo Anna, a 3-year-old filly that is now going up to some of the best 3-year-old colts in the Travers. Do you take the fact of her being a filly against the boys in any kind of computing for your ratings?
No. I mean, the ratings are the ratings. You don't do anything. When you handicap, Torpedo Anna is sort of a front running type filly. She can run, she doesn't have to be on the front, but she's got early speed. And sometimes fillies go to the front, and for some reason, colts don't pass them.
Mm-hmm.
That just means the colts ran slower than the filly. It doesn't mean that the filly ran faster than the colts. If the colts decide that they're not going to go past the filly, which happens in horse racing,
sure.
It's not like Rachel Alexander, who ran faster than just not only did she run in front of the colts, but she ran faster than them all the time.
Yeah.
And so, it's different kind of situation.
Okay.
I personally don't think Torpedo Anna is going to be able to win, but fillies do sometimes get on the front end and just go, and that's it. So.
All right, we will talk more about that later, but we got 45 seconds to get some plays.
Well, we got a play for you in the seventh race today.
Okay.
Number 2, Running Ray for Joe Sharp, ships in from Churchill Downs. And, to the naked eye, it looks like he's a shipper, but he's actually run very, very well at Saratoga. And I think that Sharp has him in shape, and he puts up Gaffleona, who does very well with. I just like the setup for this horse. I think he can handle wet track just fine. I expect it to be a wet track later today. As you know, we're off the turf in 1, 6, 8, and 9.
Right.
So I'm going to take the 2, play over the 1, 7, 8, do some small reverses to break even or make a little money if the opportunity's there. But I'm all about the 2, Running Ray, in race number 7. That's my feature play. And at anything over 5-2, I think he's a pop-out key.
All right, 7th race, the 2, Running Ray. The link-ups are 1, 7, and 8, and reverse. The 2 is the key in the 7th. Don't get power pages for all of Saratoga today, available at jerryjspowerpage.com. Want to thank all the chatters out there for chatting away today. We just had so much to cover today, but we'll try to get to some of your thoughts on tomorrow's show as well. And in the meantime, a great week coming up here on Race Day. Don't forget the Friday special right after the Race Day show. One more thing to say. Jerry's going to say it.
everybody.